Dancing on stage at 54 years old and doing what I do, but that's because of Todd right there. Hey, good morning, WFG. How many of you in this room are dreamers? How many of you have always been a dreamer, like since you were a little kid? How many of you dreamt but you just didn't know where you wanted to be or where you wanted to go, but you wanted to win in life? Raise your hand. That's exactly who I was. I'm Filipino, and we immigrated to Minnesota legally, and we lived in a Polish community, so somehow I'm Filipino and Polish, so I'm a Filipino, somehow, right? And I wanted to be maybe a Texan, a cowboy, and the plaid pants, maybe a Democrat, I don't know. But what I know is, I was a dreamer, and just like all of us, we grew up around people that believed in us, and my person that believed in me was my dad. And it's funny because as much as I told my dad what I wanted to be, my dad was actually in insurance with my cousin John Cordero's dad back in the Philippines, and he was selling an insurance policy, I think, at 5 years old or something like that. And all I know was that he always fed my dreams, and he always told me, be around people that feed your dreams and your belief, because one day you're gonna be a somebody. How many of you have someone in your life that did that for you? Yes or no? Raise your hand. And all I know is I continue to grow up like a lot of people. I found this a few weeks ago. It's my senior portrait. And my dad said, son, I don't know if you want to be an insurance man, but you're such a good liar. Why don't you become a lawyer? Okay, I'll do that, Dad. And somehow, some way, that didn't work out because a lot of things happened in our family. And I ended up with plan B, plan C, plan D. And I somehow found myself at around 23 years old. I'm not laughing because I was kind of lost. Now, the reason why I bring that up is this. I believe that every single person in this room at one point in your life, you struggled. In fact, I know there are people right now that are probably struggling. I remember my first convention, I struggled. I remember going to the buffets, we take turns in the buffet because that's how much we financially struggled. I remember being so poor sitting in the bleachers, I was so poor I could barely afford to pay attention. I was physically here, but I'm thinking about bills, I'm thinking about rent, I'm thinking about all the stuff going on. But somehow, some way, I just started to feel good. How many of you guys are feeling good being in this arena with everybody here? Yes or no? Yes or no? How many of you are starting to feel like home? Like, this is home. This is where you belong. Yes or no? Yes or no? How many of you amongst all the 22 or 23,000 people between both arenas, literally you can care less about anybody else because you're focused on you and that person on stage. You're like focused on, that's going to be me one day. How many of you are feeling that already? Yes or no? And so that's what WFG did for me. See, for me, I joined WFG 30 years ago on July 1st, 1995. In fact, when I first joined, I was a virgin. Virgin in the business. Do you guys thinking? And all I knew was I said, I want to plant my flag and put my 2 feet on the ground, and this is where I want to be for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, God willing, 30, 40, and 50 years. There are people around me like a Swan Wind. There are people around me like a Rich Dolly and all these other leaders. I said, I want to be somewhat like them, but still be me. But I knew that one thing was a constant. You know what a constant is in WFG? Every single year since that year, there's a WFG convention. Now, whether it's at Mandalay or MGM or wherever it's at, there's always a constant. There's always people on stage. There's always Susan Davies. There's always this opportunity. And the most important thing that changes is just who comes across stage, for what award, who speaks. The question is, where do you fit in and where do you feel you belong? See, when I think about this opportunity, I'm talking to all the people that have been here now for 5 years. Who's been here for 5 years or more? Raise your hand. Who's been here for 10 years or more? Raise your hand. What about 20 years or more? What about 30 years or more? Stand up if you've been here, if you can still stand up after 30 years. Look at this. Darren Farrell in the front row. Vicky Wick. These are our heroes. Ryan Chun. There's so many. Now, the reason why I tell you that is this. You're clapping for them, but what you got to be doing is actually deciding for yourself. Where are you going to be in 30 years? Where are you going to be in 5 years? Some people can't even make it to lunch. You're more focused on lunch or what you're going to do tonight or tomorrow. Listen, you need to struggle if you're going to make it in WFG. But you got to win at the struggle. Remember Raja's story about being on the outside? The struggle? You're Jay Gauthier. Think about Jay Gauthier. Look at his hair. Thank goodness he looks better with money today than he did back then, right? But understand, listen, that's the before you. Who's the next you? What's the next version? What's the next chapter? Because WFG's giving me a stage. I am so blessed. 30 years in this company. I've been on stage 28. I've danced almost every year, right? All because this opportunity keeps giving. The thing is though, you gotta put your suit on every day, you gotta prospect, you gotta recruit, you gotta do what you gotta go do so you can deliver. And when I think about this opportunity, let me say right now, there are so many people that have come and gone. There are people better than us, bigger than us, better recruiters, better salespeople, but you know what? They don't have staying power. Do you have staying power? You got reasons to be here. See, you gotta find more reasons to be here every time and minimize the reason why you're not. There's a reason why all of you should be spending time with the people in the front row. Why? Because they got staying power. Don't be sitting with the person outside that's big timing, having a meeting outside. Don't be sitting with someone out there that says, don't worry about those guys, doing this, one that. Forget about those guys. You are moving in a northerly direction. Be around the movers and shakers. Listen, there are movers and shakers that you could be next. But if you're sitting around the wrong people, you are in trouble. Now, let me move to my next phase. Almost done. When I think about this business at 30 years, it's not about me. I've accomplished every dream I wanted to accomplish. It's now about legacy and generations. Jack Linder, one of our founders, just passed recently. I think about Brian Linder. I think about Alicia Wynn being here. I remember being at her 8th birthday, and now she's running this show with her dad. Listen, everybody, that's this crazy, incredible company we have right now. And the best part about it is, I got my 2 boys here, Justin and Jason. I have 4 kids, 4 beautiful kids, but these 2 are crazy enough to do the business. And all I know is this, listen, you gotta find reasons to be here. If you're blessed to have a family, alive, mom and dad, kids, it's your time to go out there and think bigger than yourself. Don't think about how, think about why. And as I go through this, because I gotta speed up, I got 40 seconds left. I breathe different today. I'm 54 years old. Whether I like it or not, I'm more than halfway through my time on this earth. Productive years. I visited my dad not too long ago. He passed away 14 years ago. The guy who I had the photo with earlier. And it's crazy because I think about that photo, I visited my dad, and I think about my boys. And then someone sent me a photo of myself that I had to send to WFG. And then one of my kids sent that app where you make yourself look older. And so they sent this to me. I'm like, thank you. But what I did is I actually sat back and I said, you know what? Whether I liked it or not, we understand what father time is. We also understand what our mortality is. We saw that happen with our good friend Raul Ray. And so I sat at my dad and mom are buried together. I sat there, and all of a sudden I saw 2 funerals come by, and one happened to be a good friend. And then when they came by, he's like, showed me the epitaph of his dad. So right before I left, I actually wrote it down on my notes, and I said, Teofilo M. Dela Cruz Jr. is my real name. That's my birthday, and then there's that dash. And then all I knew was, we don't know when the end is. But what I do know is this, I got a chance to do something right now with all of you. There's no place I'd rather be in this world than right here, right now. You open me up, I bleed WFG. I'm a WFG lifer, everybody. But I want you to know, and in close, you gotta figure out what that dash means. Now, if you're shallow, and you're caught up in all the little things that don't matter, that's on you. But if you're one of those that really are a dreamer and want to become a somebody, and you're looking for a place to plant your flag and stand tall and stand strong and look at a real freaking opportunity, then you're at the right place at the right time, and I call that WFG. I love you all, everybody. Thank you.